it's not. Yay! Ugh, damn it, Ronnie, this is what you get for putting me in a conversation. No, it's not.
Oh, yeah, it looks like...
Looks like what? Oh, great lag. That's just what I need right now.
I'm having trouble hearing you.
That's just great. It is great.
Say something, Heather.
Say something, I'm giving up on you!
Alright, I got you. We're good. So what's the plan this week, Heather?
I will tell you as soon as I am done pasting this everywhere. Okay?
In fact, I'll do the same. Let me go
I keep forgetting to post this on my
over
channel.
my server.
You cover your server, I'll go into my other servers.
Mm-hmm. Alright, and now it's time for Twitter. And hopefully we get some additional viewership tonight. You heard me, everybody. Time to spread it around.
What, are you not spreading it around every week?
I'm talking about everybody in the chat right now, all 6 of them.
Well, I hope they'd be here. It's probably the usuals. Our regulars.
Yep.
Dang it, Kitty, why are you behind me?
We got a good chunk of our regulars already. We got Battleship Agincourt, Bucket 5, and Megan McGonagall all saying hello.
Hello, everybody. Today, we have the Kitty. Kitty. We have Kitty Knife here, gracing us with her presence.
Very good. We got AJ in the chat. He says, sup.
What's up? So today, we'll be working on that hat we started a while ago for my sister. We've gone quite far since when we first started. I haven't been able to work on it this week outside of the stream, unfortunately, because I've been quite distracted. It's been a hectic week with going to get my glasses prescription. The end of the month at work means a lot of paperwork to process before we go forward. And Brandon and me have been playing a lot of Battle Block Theater. Anyways,
Procrastination.
This isn't quite big enough, so we're gonna make this circle a little bit bigger than the top of the head, and then we'll just start single crocheting, and then maybe some decreasing stitches, so it'll fit kind of like a beret over her head.
Right now it kind of looks like a yarmulke.
You're a yarmulke. And I would like to advertise this, that after we're done with this, I plan to start this project. This is something Sweetie got me as a gift. It's crocheted sweaters for cats. It's for you. I'm gonna make a sweater for you.
I really don't think she's going to like that.
Well, tough tits. Anyways, I'll probably do like they provide you with yarn enough for your first project, but I'll probably deviate from that and make her something completely original. This is going to open a lot of doors for me, so I can't wait for us to start that, but first, birthday present. Hey?
Alright, let's do it. Let me see. Megan McGonagall says there's a cosplay nerd prom in Baltimore, and I wanted to go, but I didn't have a car to drive me there.
That sucks. I just got a card.
Yeah. I don't think you would have want to gone to that anyway. Those things tend to have a bad case of confunk. Of everybody who doesn't know how to do personal hygiene and getting into sweaty costumes just going and cramming themselves in a small room. I would not have recommended it.
Would have just been an excuse to wear my cosplays and take pictures.
Yep. Battleship Agincourt says, on this day we remember the loss of Columbia, and I have no idea what he is referring to.
I'm sure he'll explain it now.
Lennon Black is here. He says, dang it, I am always at the store when these are on.
I'm sorry, dude. It's the same time every week.
Yeah, you should know this by now. Honey Drop the Unicorn says, I'm making banana bread.
That's nice.
Yep, and Logan says hello.
Hey Logan, how's it going? Like Logan, my nephew, or their name is Logan on it?
Your nephew.
Hey Logan, how you doing? He sent me videos today of some stop motion he's been working on. He's getting very good.
Oh, nice. You'll have to show me later tonight.
Yeah, I'm gonna forward you the text. They're really good. He's been working with racing cars mostly.
Mm-hmm. Megan McGonagall says, I didn't even go to my own prom as a teen. Well, you didn't miss much there either.
I went to my prom. I didn't have a date or anything. But our prom was underneath the first space shuttle, so that was cool.
Nice. Let's see here. Battleship Agincourt specified, he said, the Space Shuttle Columbia lost in 2003 on my birthday, so happy birthday, Battleship.
You could have just started with that.
I know, right? You didn't have to depress the whole chat. Logan says I'm doing good. Buck5 says, Heather, do you or Sweetie care about the Super Bowl?
I think Sweetie watches it, but I don't think she cares that much. And me personally, I don't care. What I do care about is that the premiere of season 3 of The Masked Singer will be coming on right after.
That's a primetime slot right there. They probably pay big money for it.
It's a very popular show now.
Yep. AJ says, you mean after last year with the SpongeBob? So I'm guessing that means he's not going to watch the Super Bowl after that. That was like the first Super Bowl that I just didn't watch. I'm like, I don't care enough, and nobody's hosting a party, so screw it.
I don't think I've ever sat down and watched the Super Bowl myself.
You're not missing much.
No shit.
Let's see here. Logan says, Heather, guess what? Logan, you should just kind of lead with whatever you want to tell us.
What?
Wasting my time?
Damn it, Bronny.
What?
Let the boy do as he pleases. That's my son.
That's your nephew.
Whatever.
Is there something you're not telling me, Heather?
That's my nephew. You freaking just let him be. He is a sensitive child.
Alrighty then. Let's see. Honey Drop says, rest in peace, Mr. Peanut. We knew you well. I don't know who the heck Mr. Peanut is.
I remember that one peanut mascot for the Peanuts.
Oh, yeah.
That guy's, apparently they made him dead. I don't know. It's stupid.
That's hilarious.
Mm-hmm. I was like 106 years old or something.
Buck5 says, have you seen that the Masked Singer has a taco costume on it?
I think I remember that. I remember the banana and a few of the other ones. And a weird llama one that actually is like a quadruped but also has arms, so it's like a llama centaur thing.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, the costumes look really wild this year. I mean, this time around.
So the thing that Logan wanted to tell us was that he's going to the Texas Motor Speedway for his birthday to see a NASCAR race.
Oh yeah, his birthday is in March. He's gonna have a great time.
Yep.
That's fun, honey.
So Heather, teach me how to crochet.
I don't want to teach. I mean, to teach you would have to start from the very beginning, and I'm kind of like in the middle of it right now.
Oh, okay. Next time then.
Sure.
So tell us about your day, Heather. How did that go?
Well, I actually had to work today because it's month's end at the car dealership, and when things are at month's end, all the paperwork for last month, for January, has to be submitted as we're going into February. So I'm being, of course, every finance manager has like deals that they haven't brought in yet, and it's always a whole bunch, and I process all of it. I don't usually work Saturdays, so I had to come in today because of all the paperwork they had. And so that was a rather busy day. Tempers were running high.
Oh, geez, I'm sorry about that.
Not directed at me, at least.
Yeah, I suppose.
Yeah. At the very least, when I come in, I know what I'm getting into. Though I don't like it when like my office manager tells me like she's gonna train me on something the next day, because I swear every day she's gotta train me to do something, and it's something I'm not even immediately about to do. So I'm like, I'm gonna forget this shit the minute you try and throw it at me. Damn it! I don't want it. I'm getting tired.
Swear jar.
I am going to curse when I vent about my day. Damn it! So you can sit there and be quiet.
I'm gonna sit here and read your chat for you. Buckin5 says you might need to get the microphone a little bit closer because he's having trouble hearing you.
Oh, that makes sense. It's all the way over here.
And then he wants to know what are the best swords to dual wield. Battleship Agincourt says katanas, and Battleship Agincourt is very wrong. So, there are some swords specifically made to be dual wielded. These are the Chinese butterfly swords, sometimes called butterfly knives. Those are very good to use double wielded. Otherwise, what you're going to be doing is you're going to be using an offhanded sidearm. So you'll typically have a shorter weapon in your offhand. If you're doing a Japanese style, you'll have a katana in one hand and a wakizashi, which is a short katana, in the other. This is called Ninten Daitoru. It was developed by Miyamoto Musashi around the same time out in Europe. I think it was the Italians were developing rapiers to be used with either an offhanded buckler, which are great for creating a cone of defense, as well as close-up melee, and stiletto daggers, which are very good at trapping enemy swords or moving in to close range and basically stuffing the opposing rapier. So that's what I would suggest. So a katana and a wakizashi, a rapier and a stiletto, or Chinese butterfly knives. Oh, actually, the Chinese hook swords are also very good for dual wielding. They are specifically made to be dual wielded because they can also they can be wielded separately. Every part of them is sharpened, and they can join together and become a flexible weapon for a lot of extra range, although that is very difficult to wield. I'm sorry, Heather, did I cut you off on something?
No, what?
I don't know. It just sounded like you were about to say something, and then I kept talking.
Oh no, I went forward to look at the clock because I actually started the live stream to my channel a while ago, but I didn't actually go live for a bit, so I'm not sure where exactly we are on the stream, but I think I know that we just went live at 7 o'clock, so I know we're getting off it.
Yeah, we went live right at 7 o'clock, give or take maybe 1 or 2 minutes.
So yeah.
Yeah, we're in good shape here.
Yeah. I just need to know when I'm doing my stretches, which are around 7:30.
Yep, I'll try to get better at reminding you about those. Honey Drop wants to know if you've seen the Tangled cartoon.
I've seen bits and pieces of it. It's really big right now.
Yeah, apparently the season finale is really good, and she also wants to know about Owl House. Have you seen Owl House?
No. And I know
I
nothing
sure as
about
heck don't
that
know
one.
about Owl House.
What?
I sure as heck don't know about Owl House.
It's a cartoon, but I haven't watched it, and I'm not really interested.
Louis says he's taking over, and I have no idea how he intends to do this.
Let's watch. Do something.
Come for me, Louis. Come at me, bro. Megan wants to know what you think of Has-Been Hotel and Hell of a Boss, and I'm very confident you've answered this question before.
I have an opinion on it, though, and I'm willing to answer it again, so
Alright, do it.
You sit down. Because I've recently, I guess, revived it for myself. The pilots for both of those came out some time ago, and I enjoyed both of them immensely. Hell of a Boss caught me off guard because I didn't know she was releasing anything else. I was like, oh, her whole thing is just Has-Been Hotel. And then she's like, and here's another show I'm going to be doing. And I'm like, oh. And then I heard she's doing something else because Black Griffin, who's also the singing voice for Alistair, said he's like, I'm working for something on Wibsy Pop, and it's gonna be really good. And he's like, and he put in a related tweet oh, so you guys, I can't say what I'm working on, you guys, but I gotta tell you, it's not on either of her two existing series. It's a third project. And I'm like, shit, girl, you gotta come. Shut up. Stop interrupting me for stupid swear jar shit. You can wait until the end. Wasn't done talking.
Alright, I'm sorry.
No, you're not. Kill him, Knife. Yes.
Knife can't take me. She's not nearly powerful enough.
You don't know that.
I know that for a 100% fact.
You clearly don't. You remember Kung Fu Panda 3. She absorbs
Yes, I do. We watched Kung Fu Panda 3 last night, and it was very enjoyable.
It was. But we also learned that green glowing eyes means that she absorbs other people's chi, so she is very powerful. Anyways, as I was saying before I was rudely interrupted, I was like, I know less about this process for sure, but from my perspective, I don't know if you should have this many projects going on at once. Space those out a little bit, unless they're things that are supposed to be concurrent to each other. Maybe they're all interrelated or something like that. But that's a bit ambitious, and she's only got, she isn't a studio or a company I'm sure she's delegating, but, isn't she getting together a whole bunch of freelance artists and stuff who have their own schedules and curriculums, and, is she paying them all? What's the deal?
Yeah, I don't know how to answer that question.
It just seems like a bit much, especially if she wants all these shows to be at their best, to be everything they can be. But, isn't it just splitting all of her attention and resources and time?
Yeah. No, it definitely is.
If she pulls it off, then I'll be very impressed and respect her even more for it. But if she can't, then, I'd probably be like, girl, just take some, just pick one for a little bit and maybe pick up the others a bit later.
Right, which is exactly what I would have done. I would have been putting this stuff. I would have 6 different series on my channel instead of 4 if I wasn't gonna burn myself out doing that. But yeah, it's crazy. You gotta wonder where the money is coming from. For these types of things, she's gotta survive herself while she's doing all of this.
You always hear about starving artists, though, willing to put themselves in peril for their own work. I hope she's taking care of herself. Jeez.
Yep. Let's see here. Buck and 5. I have not had. Well, I have used a Bowie knife before. Why are you asking me about weapons all the time?
That's what we know you for. Are you complaining?
I don't know. I guess I like being asked questions. I don't know. Logan says check your phone.
I will in a second.
Yep. Heather, tell us your thoughts on Steven Universe.
I like Steven Universe. It's not a perfect show by any means. I don't like every single episode, but I really enjoy it, and I've really enjoyed Steven Universe Future, the movie, and the series. Each episode has been very interesting for me to watch.
Mm-hmm.
For sure. And I really enjoy like some of the concepts the show presents and some of the characters.
What don't you like about the show? Is there anything?
I'm trying to think. Like, I didn't like the twist. Like, if you haven't heard it yet, Rose Quartz is Pink Diamond, and I didn't enjoy that twist as much. And I don't know. That twist, like, that's, like, I was enjoying the show, and I'm like, yeah, that episode was perfect, but I really like it, solid show. And then that twist came around, and I'm just like, oh, that sucks. I was really bitter about it for a bit, but then I just got used to it, and now I don't care as much.
Mm. That's unfortunate.
Yeah, it happens though. I still like it. I like the concept of fusion. I like a lot of the themes the shows presents, a lot of the designs, all that stuff.
Mm-hmm. Well, that's good then.
So,
what else are you watching? What else are you watching these days that you're enjoying?
Well, Mao Mao is on a bit of a hiatus, but I do love Mao Mao and the Heroes of Pure Heart very much. There's some shows I'm staying current with right now. I really like Masked Singer, obviously. I like... What's another show I've been following recently? I'm trying to think of something I've binged. Waiting for that season 2 of Fruit Baskets.
Mm.
Mm-hmm. Let's see. I haven't had too much time to watch cartoons this week because of all the video games and stuff that's been going on. What's another show that I like? Rick and Morty is on hiatus, of course, for season 4. Let's see, what else?
Rick and Morty is no good anyway.
Yeah, some say that about you, but I didn't listen!
Yep.
I still like some of the animated sitcoms I watch while I exercise on TV, like American Dad.
Mm-hmm.
Other than that, I don't know. I have to think about it a little bit.
Well, that's a good, variety there.
Oh yeah, like it's not all animated series. I got like a live action singing contest show in there. I got adult cartoons, family cartoons. I think it's a good mix.
Megan says, and I'm assuming she's referring to the Fruits Basket. She says, I found the NHK Japan channel and I've been binge watching it.
Oh, that's good. I really hope they also English dub Fruits Baskets again, because the voice actors for that were also very good. I mean, if they don't, that's fine, but like Fruits Baskets is a very good show. I hope they bring back Ouran High School Host Club and they also English dub it with some of the same voice actors, because I'm pretty sure those same voice actors are still in the business, and also they were very good for their roles.
Yeah, it's well, once you get into voice acting enough that you can sort of support yourself on it, it's very difficult to. Well, there's really no reason to get out of it. How does the new Fruits Basket compare to the old one?
It's definitely more laid out and adding more details, because I love the original Fruits Baskets animated, but like while I was watching it, because I know who the endgame couple is, because I looked it up obviously when I watched it the first time around, because I was just like, oh, there's no other seasons, I'm never gonna know the ending unless I look it up, because that's how it is. That's at least how it was back then, when we didn't have access to like all the Japanese released stuff. But so I googled it and I found out who she ends up with, and I was just like, are you serious? That guy? Because it sure as hell didn't look like they bonded much. Like, they were friends for sure, but I really shipped her with Yuki. Yuki's the one she had the best connection with in the original animated series. But with this
spoiler warnings, I guess.
Everyone knows. We're gonna get more water. Yeah, in this one, it's a bit more even. It's set up that way where I could see it either way, but with some of the implications they made, I kind of, like with most animes, I know who's endgame and who's not. They're just teasing it a little bit. And they've taken their time to add more details about characters I wondered about at first, because I saw, like, in the first season, in the first iteration, like, she had friends and they were very eccentric, and I was wondering about how they came to know Taurus Honda so well and how they became friends. And in this new reboots, they do that, and it's great. I liked learning about those characters, and I like them even more for it. So the new series is an improvement in every sense of the word, but the first one was nothing to sneeze at. It was pretty good too.
So why do you want a remake of Ouran High School Host Club then?
Because we got the same. It's the same problem. We only got one season. That was the problem with the first one. It was only one season, and you didn't get anything else. This one, with the new fruits baskets, we're also getting a season 2. We're getting the whole thing because it was popular demand. Ouran High School Host Club, it wasn't the same type of anime, but it had the same popularity. The same sorts of people liked it, and there's still that demand because people still talk about Ouran High School Host Club as much as they did about fruits baskets. Ouran High School Host Club, that was like when I first got into anime in high school. That was the anime that all the girls liked. We all liked it, and I still like it, and we all still do like it. So it only makes sense that they would also bring back Ouran High School Host Club, and I think they will if Fruits Baskets continues to do very well. So there's a chance at it, because they were both released by Funimation, and I don't see why Funimation wouldn't put some money into that. And like I said, all the original voice actors for the English dub are still in the business, and I mean, I know it's released in Japan first, so I guess it really depends on the Japanese demographic first, and maybe then they'll be like, oh yeah, let's also put it to so Americans can watch it too. So I guess it all depends on what goes down in Japan, but I'm pretty sure like an anime like that still has to be popular over there. It's a well-made anime, and it was also apparently a very good manga series. It was also very popular.
I don't know. I watched it and I didn't like it.
It wasn't made for you. Obviously, you don't like it, Mr. Alpha Male. Beta Male.
First of all, that's sexist.
Yes, it is, but it's true. It was not made for you. It doesn't hit all the stuff that you like in an anime. I've seen the anime you like. You don't like funny romantic comedies in anime and all the funny tropes, because, like, yeah, that's what
Hey,
people
I like School Rumble. That's not true.
You don't like that you like School Rumble?
No, I don't like that I like School Rumble, but I like School Rumble. That's all beside the point here.
And there's characters in that series you could relate to, like Harma. There's no one like that for you in Ouran High School Host Club. It's not an anime made for you. It was an anime made for a specific demographic, and it hit all its marks. You don't like the tropes that Ouran High School Host Club does and rips on and stuff like that. There's no character in Ouran High School Host Club for you to relate to, for you to project on, for you to really get to know and like. But there is for me, and there is for more people like me, because there's a lot of people like me who enjoyed it. Like, what can you say that was objectively bad about the series?
Honestly, I do not remember well enough.
Well, there you go.
Well enough.
I mean, other than the fact that you haven't given it a chance in an awful long time, and I bet you only watched one episode of it.
No, that's exactly what happened.
See? You didn't.
One episode in 2014.
So honestly, I want to say your opinion doesn't count, because you were exposed to one episode of it, and it was a very long time ago. So your memory of it is very fuzzy, because I know your memory is not very good. But yeah, you didn't give it a proper chance, if you ask me. But it's also an anime I don't see you really enjoying that much. I mean, there are plenty of characters I'm sure would annoy you a bit, and it's still pretty good. I don't think if you watched it, you'd say there's a lot of stuff that's like so critically wrong about it. It's just not for you.
Let's take a look here. Sharp Unforgiven says, hello, I just joined.
Nice to meet you.
Oriental Clock says, hello, Heather, long time no see. How's your crocheting going?
Slowly but surely.
Bucket5 wants to know if an MLP anime would work.
It depends on how popular it is in Japan.
It's popular enough. There's bronies out there.
Oh, maybe it would. Maybe if Hasbro thought it would be very profitable, they might do it. But they're already making their own cartoons, so why split it two ways?
Clayton says I'm here.
Cool.
How's it going, Clayton? Buckin5 says Inor and Brawny would be the one that was Honey's guardian, the strong, silent type guy. I don't know about the silent part. I tend to voice my opinion. Sometimes I do so even when I'm not asked.
Yeah, Mori Senpai is who they're talking about. Yeah, I don't really see him as you. He's more aloof about things, for sure. You're definitely not a Kyoya.
I don't know any of these characters ever, so
I will tell you their archetypes. Mori Senpai is, of course, the strong, silent type. Kyoya is the cool-headed, smart guy. Tamaki Senpai is the prince, who's very flamboyant. You'll probably think he's gay. And Honey Senpai is the Lolita boy. There's the Ipachin twins. They're the mischievous ones. Yeah, there's no one in that freaking anime that is you, so I don't see you enjoying it because there's no one for you to relate to. There is a guy in there that's there for 2 episodes who's they say people call him a juvenile delinquent, but it's only because he's very scary looking and his dad is like a mob boss or something that people judge him, and he's like, I want to have friends. But I don't think you relate to him too hard. I mean, probably just the fact that people are intimidated by you or something like that. He's also very stupid, so kind of a hard.
Maybe. Heather, do your stretches.
Do you hear that cracking?
Yep.
Okay.
Alright, let's see here. Retro Gamer Kevin says, hi Heather, I'm just hopping on real quick.
Good. Yeah, I'm glad you're here. Gives us a little presence. How many people are in the chat, Ronnie?
8.
That's pretty good.
Yep. Megan says she just got back into Gorillas.
Oh, the band? Yeah, I was actually listening to them on the way home. I usually just pick a playlist or an artist that I have a lot of songs for and just let it play when I'm driving. Because I don't want to have to...
Whenever I watch a Clint Eastwood or Bill Murray movie, I feel good.
Yeah. I usually like to pick a artist or a playlist so I don't have to at a stop sign frantically change it if the song's over. In the mornings I listen to Phantom of the Opera or my Easy Listen playlist because just starting out that day. On the way home I might listen to my jazzy tunes, my girly playlist, Sound of Thunder, the album It Was Metal, or a Gorillaz or something like that.
Yeah. Well, some of their music really puts me on Melancholy Hill.
Yeah, I actually have them on some of my, I think I call it my Self-Care Sunday playlist, and on my Easy Listen. Some of their newer songs, I think it was Sorcerers, and another one were really chill songs. Another song they had a music video with Jack Black in it, was pretty chill too. Some chill tunes.
Oh god, that's hilarious.
Yeah, have you not seen that music video? It's not drop dead hilarious, but it's Jack Black doing his thing. So it was pretty fun, but also very, very chill. And freaking Noodle was wearing a shirt in that damn music video that I need.
Well, this one time I took a dare to jump into a pond and the water was freezing, and that's how you know November has come. And then I had to go home and just had a house full of Empire ants.
You know, I really wish I could sing a gorilla song, but I can't, like, not in a way that sounds good, because if I try to sing it like the way 2D sings it, it just kind of sounds weird. Like, he's got a chill voice. Look at the belly. She's showing her belly on stream. How scandalous. How scandalous.
Oh gosh, that cat.
She's so fluffy. She's so fluffy.
Clayton thinks an MLP anime would be really popular in Japan.
Oh, that's good then. Then we probably won't get one, but it would be good if we got one. But I don't think Hasbro's gonna split their.
We got a manga, so there's that.
Isn't that are you talking about the comic facetiously, or is there legit a manga?
No, there's legitimately a manga.
That's cool.
I've seen it. It actually looks really cute. I haven't read but the first few pages of the first issue, but it looks good.
I would like to read it at some point. I actually have a few manga over here. I usually like to buy the first book of a series so I can read it and have it and be like, okay, that was good. Let me look up the rest online and maybe read it later, or just watch the anime. Because it really struck a chord with me when, I was used to, in my childhood or whatever, an anime only going on for a season, being like, why didn't they make more? It was very good. But then I watched a video by Digibro, because, he's doing the anime thing now, but this was earlier. He would talk about, he's like, you ever wonder why your favorite series only get one season? It's because there's no money in it. The companies only make something if there's money in it. And it started to make sense. So, if I'm, illegally streaming the animes or not watching it when it comes on TV, the company isn't making any money and they don't know that their product is popular. And the creators would love to keep working on their shows, but if there's no funding, the show isn't made. So I like to support the official releases of the animes and the mangas I enjoy. So if I'll actually find it at Barnes & Noble, and if I, start reading it and I like it and I want more of it, I'll buy the manga. Or, recently I've thought about getting DVDs of the animes I like or something like that.
That's a good practice.
Yeah, because, and that's why I don't just record the episodes of Masked Singer, because I think it's the same kind of concept that you can apply it to any product. I want to watch the show not only just when it comes out. I could record the show and I can watch it when it's convenient for me, but then I don't know if me recording it does the same for them. They'll be able to know that someone watched it, so I want to be sitting down and watching it so they have that viewership and the show can keep going.
Well, the same model doesn't apply to television as much, especially with a show like Masked Singer.
Yeah, you could watch it on Hulu and people would know.
Millions and millions of people watching them across platforms, and they're able to know exactly how many, and if you don't catch it live, that's not going to hurt their ratings.
Damn it, my contribution matters, Bronny!
Yeah, not in this case.
Yeah.
And so then what happens? Where they get their viewership, where they get their money is from the advertisers. So as long as there's people advertising on the show, as long as advertisers want to put on there, then they don't care who's watching.
I'm sure they don't care who, but it matters that someone is watching, because the advertisers don't want to advertise on something no one is watching.
Well, of course, but you got to get to an extreme before that becomes a factor. So from there, especially with the way technology is going, we got ways of tracking. Okay, you watched this, and then you saw this advertisement, then you bought the product. So they got ways of tracking exactly how much goes into that from the show and how much they're seeing a return on the investment, so they'll keep advertising onto there. So if you watch it recorded, you're not going to hurt Masked Singer at all. With a manga, there's definitely a lot less money in that industry. So
I just carry on that practice with everything I enjoy. I want the creators to know that I like it and that I care. Which is why I also have, it's more than just you I contribute to on Patreon. I like to contribute to my favorite artists some of my favorite artists, like Lapodity, I contribute to her. I contribute to Burning Donut because he not only do I like his art, he's a personal friend and I want to support him. And there are a few other ones that I support, like Cardlin. He's one of my favorite voice actors. He makes a good saucy fit like audio story.
Heather, there are children present.
They don't know what I mean by saucy. It could be about spaghetti.
Yes, they do, Heather.
Oh, also, there's not children present because this is an adults-only stream. I put in the damn YouTube thing that this was not made for children.
Oh, well then maybe I don't need to remind you about the swear jar all the time. Interesting.
Probably not. You ever wonder why Luna Amethyst isn't here anymore? I think that restriction might have made it so she can't watch.
Yeah, that's what happened.
Yeah, that used to be a lot more kids here that would say, oh, I'm 16, I'm 10, I'm 12. They're not around anymore. I don't know, my nephew Logan is here, so I think he's lying about his age on YouTube, but that's...
Your nephew Logan is lying about his age, it's that simple.
Yeah, so, I mean, if they guess that they really wanted to, I mean, they probably made their accounts being honest, good children, and I don't support them making alternate accounts that say they're 18 like I did when I was their age.
I never told anybody my age anyway, so I don't have that problem.
I had 2 accounts because on this YouTube account, I actually have my real age. I had another account which I think is defunct and deleted now where I would say I was 18 so I could watch that one. Like, the only reason I made it because there was a Tenacious D music video that they wouldn't let me watch it because I wasn't old enough because there were sexually explicit scenes. So I made it another account that was 18 plus, and then I got to watch it.
Alrighty then. Ladies and gentlemen, you just heard Heather admit to a crime.
Is it? Is it really?
Nobody cares.
Exactly.
Nobody really cares, Heather. Let's see. Buck&5 wants to know, since you're a princess, do you have a princess scepter or cane?
I haven't designed one yet, but I will. Or maybe I'll just carry around a sword. Who knows?
Yep, I still gotta pick out a nice sword for you.
Yep.
Which I think I have. I just gotta get around to affording it.
Mm-hmm.
Let's see here. Clayton wants to know, Heather, do you remember Kirimi, the youngest sister of Nekozawa?
Which anime?
So that's a no to that answer.
Now, I might remember it if they tell me which anime because, like, I won't remember the names, but I'll remember the roles.
I think they're still talking about our on the high school host club.
Oh, maybe it was that one with, like, the guy who was in the dark arts club and he was, like, black hair and he had a little sister named Tsukimi. No, then it's not.
Shoot.
What was the name again?
I don't know.
Oh, no, what? Like, read the damn thing again.
Okay, Kirimi, the youngest sister of Nekozawa.
I think that's the one that I'm thinking about.
Clayton says, Casanada is the guy you're talking about. Sure. Let's see here. For comedy, make Brawny Haruhi's dad from that one episode. What the heck is he talking about now?
Oh, actually, yeah, you would have, no, you wouldn't be that guy. Never mind it.
Alright. Let's see here. Do you have, Battleship Agincourt wants to know if you have a favorite MLP episode review.
Like that I've done or other people have done?
That other people have done.
Let me think about that for a minute.
For example, he gives one and says, Silver Quill. Silver Quill's Slice of Life review is his favorite.
Geez, I'm trying to think of one that comes to mind. Cause, gosh, it's been a while since I even watched a review on My Little Pony that hasn't been, like, by Brawny. Because Silver Quill, like, his videos, like, they take a little bit to produce, so they come out occasionally. And I don't remember the last time he tackled a specific episode instead of a concept, because he's been doing a lot of archetypes and more metaphorical stuff.
And I find that to be more interesting personally.
Oh yeah, definitely. I feel like I learned stuff. But in episode review, what did I like? You know what I liked, and it's super old. That collaboration between Anthony C. and Tommy Oliver over a candlelight wedding. I remember that.
Good one.
That I liked that one.
Mm-hmm.
I miss Tommy Oliver's old art style.
He was all right before he went crazy, just like the rest of his friends.
Freaking horseshoe cast.
Yep, that's what happens.
I understand if you don't want to do pony stuff so bad, but some of them left on sour notes. But you know what? That's their business.
Suppose it is.
Isn't that like it?
Let's see here. Clayton says, I saw the new season of Chilling Adventures of Sabrina, and I don't like what they did with the relationship between Sabrina and Nick. Do you know what he's talking about?
Nope.
Alrighty then. We're out of luck. Let's see here. What else do we got? Clayton says he got a new phone. Buckin says, speaking of anime, I would love to see Brawny's reaction to Hatsune Miku. And son, you got hopes.
That's a Vocaloid if you didn't know.
Yes, I know what it is. I don't like it.
Yeah, I liked Vocaloids back in the day. When their songs told stories. I think what they do in making them have concerts and stuff is kind of cool. Because they have those big holograms.
Mm-hmm.
It's definitely something.
Megan McGonagall says, Swandalus, Heather, you made me ugly snort laugh when you were,
Petting
baby talking your cat like a goof nugget.
Because she showed her belly to the whole stream. Oh, you're showing a booty now. Bad kitty. Stop showing them stuff.
Oh my god. Japan does a better job at giving kids shows some complex storylines than the United States. I agree to a certain degree, Clayton, but I think we've been getting progressively better at it as the last, 10 years.
We definitely have. I don't know. I mean, I've watched some animes. I think they're going, they might have been a little faster at it, but they have, a lot of great shows. I don't know. The most recent, kids anime that I know it was geared for kids that I tried to watch was Glitter Force, and I kind of wanted to watch more of it, but, I wasn't that invested.
Mm-hmm.
I mean, they had a werewolf dude that I was kind of like, alright, furry stuff.
Well, the example that Clayton gives is Sailor Moon.
Sailor Moon was, I think it was on par with other, American cartoons that were on at the time. It was silly, for sure. And, it didn't have the best, role model protagonist, I guess. But they definitely revamped it, and I think I haven't watched it, but I hear it's better than ever.
Well, that chick was realistic.
Oh, of course she was.
If we get right down to it, that's what it was. She was realistic, and there's nothing wrong with that.
There is nothing wrong with that, but, chicks shouldn't, I don't know, I can feel like kids using it as an
just don't allow yourself to relate to it too hard, definitely.
Yeah, I definitely loved, they called her Serena at the time, which I thought was a cute name, but her real name is Usagi. But I liked her a lot. She was funny and she was interesting. But she, it's not like I wanted, to really be her, but, having to relate to be yeah, I can be clumsy sometimes, and yeah, I'm not the best, but you know what, we're doing pretty good.
Mm-hmm. Let's see here. The My Little Pony manga is $11.
Oh, that's a price.
That's something to consider.
Yeah. I really gotta get back into reading Weird Love. I really liked that comic series. It's, I've told you about Weird Love. It's just this comic. I don't remember if it was IDW who puts it together, but they just find old vintage comics from the 40s and put them in compilations, and since it's Weird Love, it's all romance based comics, and some of them go from like questionable to like, whoa, this would not fly at all today. Like some of my favorite examples were like this one comic that followed this heavy chick who hated the fact that she was fat, and because like she wanted to date and find love and stuff like that, and people would make fun of her for being fat, mostly dudes, and she would go to doctors and they were like, you're healthy, it's just, it's difficult for you to lose weight and stuff like that. And then at one point she thinks she finds a guy who really likes her and takes her on dates, and he proposes to her, and only to realize that the only reason that guy proposed to her and was with her at all was because her father had promised him like the entire company, like because her dad was the founder of a candy company that made tons of money, and so that's the only reason he was interested in her. And so she felt so bad, and throughout this entire comic there's this one guy who was always nice to her and was always like, I don't care that you're fat, you're very nice and I like you, and she always thought that he was just lying to her. So she like holds herself up in her room and cries and doesn't eat for like a week or something like that, and it was like it's kind of like that moment from Kiss Him Not Me, where she comes out and because she starved herself for a week she got skinny, and so then she finally loved herself and she married the guy who was always nice to her, which I'm glad she got with the right guy, but I'm also not down with like the message or something about that. That was like one of the questionable ones. Like it would have flown today, but like it's not the worst that I've seen them do.
Yeah.
But yeah, there's a lot of interesting comics that I wish I could read them with somebody so they could talk to me about them, because I find them very interesting.
Let's see here. What else do we got going on? Vulcan5 wants to know if I can do the worm. I definitely can, but I'm not going to.
That's gonna put even more
degrade myself like that.
That's gonna put even more creaks in your back.
Yeah, and I've got some creaks in my back as it is. I attempted to exercise with my 100-pound suit today, Heather.
How'd that
And let me tell you something. I'm still at like 1/10 of what I used to do. Cause like I used to do. The routine had around 30 exercises in it that I would do wearing that suit. And today I said, okay, I'm gonna do 8. I did 5. So I'm a little upset with myself.
Hey, you did more than half.
Yeah, but by the same token, it's like, I don't know, it's still a drastic decrease from what I used to be able to do. And to a degree, I suppose I understand that I haven't attempted a 100-pound suit since 2012. But, I don't know, it's not much of a comfort.
You're good there, baby.
Retro gamer Kevin says, alright, now I gotta go. It was nice chatting with you, Heather and friends. Take care. See you later, Retro.
See you later. Hey, Cheetos, sponsor me. Cheeto Pups!
Buckin5 wants to know if I'd go on Master Code's channel. Yeah, sure, if he ever invited me. Megan McGonagall says the My Little Pony comic has Doctor Who references. Okay, sure.
Do you want a Cheeto? Do you want a Cheeto? No?
Honey Drop says Thundercats Roar sucks. It's a slap in the face to anyone who is a fan.
No, whatever. I wasn't a big fan of it anyway.
Shady Oak says, Kiss Him Not Me had conflicting messages. She's unhealthy, so she does something even more unhealthy, resulting in her being attracted because reasons than to something even more unhealthy.
Okay. A few things. Because I like that anime. The most problematic thing that happened at the beginning. It was her losing weight by starving herself, which she did out of grief. It wasn't like she's like, oh, I'm so fat, I want to lose weight. That, like, being fat was never a problem to her. She didn't mind being fat. And then she lost all that weight by not eating as much. And I was just like, oh, man. And then all these boys started to like her. And then we had a couple episodes, and we were always like, yeah, man. We like her being with these guys, but it doesn't feel genuine because they didn't like her before she lost weight. Then there's an episode where she gains the weight back. She gains the weight back because she spent a weekend just eating chocolate and reading manga all week. And so some of the guys are like, oh, she's fat again. Do we still like her? And half the guys legit are like, no, we don't like her anymore. If she's not hot, we don't care. And they try to convince her to lose weight again. Because it turns out she won this award and she's going to go to an award ceremony and they're like, don't you want to look your best? And she's like, you're right, I should get in shape. So she buys it because she's also a very gullible chick and isn't on to the fact that they just want her to be hot again. But then there's a few moments because, like, of course, not all her, like, pursuers were not interested in her anymore because there's a girl who's interested in her. And the girl's even, like, giving her chocolates and stuff because she likes her no matter what. She liked her before when she was already fat because she supported her when she was making her own manga series. So that there's already that girl who liked her already regardless of what she looked like. She was even looking for her and didn't like, before she'd met her, she was looking for the overweight version of her, trying to connect with her, and then she realized, oh, the girl who lost all that weight is the same girl that I like. And then there's another suitor that still likes her because, well, he treated, like, for the longest time, it wasn't even for sure if he even liked her romantically because he kind of just went with everything and hung out with her because they were friends beforehand. And it was fine. They were friends beforehand, and he didn't even notice that she lost all that weight. And when she gained the weight, he didn't care, so he was still cool. The one that I was most interested in, and because of this episode, I shipped him more with her, because it was the athletic guy who was always very nice to her. He was nice to her, but he wasn't flat out into her until she lost weight. And he was the first one to ask her out directly. He was very honest about stuff. When she gained all the weight back, he thought about it, and he actually was like, man, am I a bad person? Am I still in love with her even though she's more overweight? And he had a moment where he was talking to her, and he looked at her while she was talking about something very insightful, like the reason she wants to lose the weight and how she's so happy that everyone wants the best of her. And it pulled through, and he had a moment with the guy. He's like, I realize I don't care about the weight. I love her no matter what. I think I love her now more than ever. And because of that revelation, it really made me enjoy him more as a character. Sounds like you got someone at the door.
I suppose I do. One moment. Alrighty then, that's taken care of.
So that was all my thoughts. Basically what I'm trying to say is, yes, the way it started was problematic, but they later tackled that and be like, look, here we're showing the people who genuinely love her and the people who are just infatuated with her beauty. And you really should be able to look past her weight if you're going to be with her, if you want to like someone, like past the appearances. So I think it tackled it. Maybe it could have done it better, but, I like it for what it is.
Well, that's good then. Mega McGonagall wants to know if you would like a soft crab pretzel.
A soft crab pretzel? I don't like crab. I mean, what even is that?
I would assume it's a pretzel with crab meat in it.
Sounds kind of gross.
Maybe it is.
I like pretzels in general.
Shady Oak says Knife looks confused.
She's always confused. Or mad. Or hungry.
Yeah, she's kind of a stupid cat.
Shut up. You love her.
I do, but that doesn't change what I said.
She's not stupid. She's a beautiful, intelligent creature. I love her so much. I love you.
Alrighty then, Heather, you should do your stretches again.
Actually, I want to get some more water too.
Go for it. So, how's this chat doing? You guys are kind of quiet tonight. It hasn't been terribly difficult for me to keep up with you. Except for Buckin's question. I'm not answering that one.
What's wrong with it?
Nothing, it's just more personal than I'd like it to be.
Alright, guys. We're setting a boundary.
Yep. You got your water, Heather?
Yep.
JD Oak says the problem message wasn't necessarily vanity, it was that gaining and losing a lot of weight without killing yourself is, yeah.
Yeah, they did put unrealistic time on, like, how fast she lost the weight and stuff. Because she was, like, not even, like, a little chubby. She was obese. And it's like, oh, she missed 2 weeks from school. And apparently starving yourself for 2 weeks will help you. And I'm like, I'm pretty sure in the starvation process you bloat. Maybe she didn't exactly starve herself.
If you're starving to the point where you're about to die, then yes, you start, at that point, you start bloating up. And your metabolism slows down. And you actually retain a lot of the fat. Fat burning only happens when you combine caloric deficit with exercise.
And she sure as heck wasn't.
Still getting a balance, or while you're still getting a balance of vitamins and nutrients.
Yeah, like the first time around, all she was doing was laying in bed, moping, and not eating. So maybe she was eating a little bit, so maybe she wasn't starving herself, but like that's how they made it seem. And also the second time around when she lost weight, she was exercising. And maybe, I don't remember if she was dieting, so that time it was a bit more healthy, but I don't remember the time frame in which it was. It might have only been a few weeks again. And I'm not sure if that transformation is, like, realistic.
No, it's not, because what's going to happen like that, especially if you're not doing anything to build muscle under that fat layer, is you're gonna have stretch marks. You're gonna get stretch marks, and you're really not gonna look all that much different. Where you tend to see weight loss is in the face.
In the face?
Yeah, because like if you're overweight, then your skin has to stretch a lot in order to accommodate being overweight like that. So what happens then is that when you start fat, no longer have a reason, there's nothing to cover anymore, basically. But you still have that skin, so you just kind of have this loose flap of skin that's not necessarily flabbed. It's there, and that's very difficult for a lot of people to get rid of. There's several people out there who have gone from morbidly obese. Like we're talking people that weigh 400 pounds or more, and and then they drop down to a healthy weight, and they drop down to like 200 or something like that, and now they look way thin, but they've got this like all this excess skin that they can't really do anything about it.
I think
And
there's
to be frank, it's pretty ugly. Some of them end up getting a nip tuck where they just get it surgically removed, and then their skin looks like it fits their body again.
Yeah, because I was going to say that there is a surgery for that now, and I remember it because Shane Dawson, the YouTuber, when I used to be into him back when he did like sketches and stuff like that, he did tell stories about like he used to be morbidly obese, like a very, very fat person, but he committed himself to diet and exercise, and he did lose the weight, but he talked about how he did have excess skin for the longest time, and he was so embarrassed about it, he would tuck it in and stuff and kept it that way until he was able to afford the surgery to get it removed.
Yeah, that happens. Some people, if they can, they build a lot of muscle on top of that. So then what happens is they it basically the muscle stretches the skin back out to fit again, but that's very hard to do on your stomach.
I think if I lost weight, I don't know if I'd have that excess skin problem.
Not really. I don't think you would.
Yeah, I think you have to like be pushing the limits of what your body can take for that to happen.
Megan says, "Oi, soft pretzel with crab and cheese is delicious."
I don't
and
like
with,
crab.
Yeah, well, she says it's a gift from the gods, so I don't know what to tell you.
What gods do you worship? Poseidon?
Then she says, "Quick question with wings," and then she talks about wigs, so I don't know what she means.
I like wigs.
Yeah, but she says, I'm having a problem with a short wig. I can't put it on with a wig cap, but without the wig cap, I can put it on. What do you think about that?
Well, wig caps are, well, they're supposed to make it easier because, like, I know when I have, like, a bun and I'm trying to put a wig on without it, it can be a little difficult because my hair is going every which way. If by all means you can put your hair up in a bun and able to fit the wig on more easily like that, then go ahead and do it that way because it kind of has like a built-in cap into it because they need to make the cap to put the hair on the wig to make the wig. So if you can wear it like that, that's perfectly fine. It's probably secure enough if the wig like fits around you just a teeny bit snugly. The only thing is that like your hair that you have might be a little bit visible and poke out a bit more often, but you can always tuck it back in. It's a little maintenance. I know when I put on a wig cap, I still have my hair that comes out right here, like short little sideburns. So there's always that, unless I have like a wig that covers it, or some bangs. So there's some stuff you just can't avoid when you do that type of thing, especially when you're not like movie costume level of cosplayer. But yeah, it should be perfectly fine. It gets the point across, and if it's a nice looking wig, it's a nice looking wig.
Yep.
It's been a while since I cosplayed.
Bigorna says, "Hello, you silly gobsmackers.
Yo.
I'm here in a different, after a search for the perfect pizza. I didn't find it, but I got a pretty good one," he says.
Yeah, that works. Pizza's always really good. Unless you put onions on it, or bell peppers, like a freak.
I don't mind peppers on my stuff.
Yeah, you don't mind a
Not
lot
anymore.
of things.
Which?
Honey, you're glitching out for me. I don't know what you're saying.
Hey.
No improvement. What was it?
Look here.
What?
Yep.
You're getting a little better, but I still don't understand.
Nope, can't hear you.
I can't. Wait, can you not hear me? I can't. I can hear you now.
Okay, yeah, I got you back.
Gosh, I don't know why my Wi-Fi can't be better. Done all I can.
What do you think?
It's starting to set in. I'm kind of tired.
That's no good.
Well, it makes sense.
Shady.
I went through a whirlwind of a day.
Yeah, it was a pretty tough day. Here. Shady Oak says you might
Shady Oak says what?
have done for his 1 to 5th graders. And they asked me to start doing it again for characters.
I didn't get that.
Say what, Heather?
I said I didn't get that. What did you say?
Oh, here we go with the connection.
Of course.
Shady Oak used to do cosplays for his Bible studies, and the kids want him to do it again. Any character suggestions?
Gosh, for Christian kids, I mean, what do they like? What are the shows they enjoy? I mean, Power Rangers always really cool.
Yeah, well, there you go, Shady. Power Rangers. Oh, let's see here. Buck and 5 wants to know if we've ever had Jasper Pie's pizza.
Nope. Haven't had the pleasure.
Let's see here. Bigorna thinks Shady is Elric.
What?
Alphonse Elric. Bigorna
Oh.
thinks Shady should do that character.
Do the kids? Oh, it's
Shady
for the
is
kids.
way too tall.
Yeah. And do the kids even know that anime? We're thinking of the children here. You gotta.
I don't know. It's a shot in the dirt. Some people don't care, but you might also get the stereotypical Christian mother that just shelters their kid way too much.
Yeah, it depends on the age range of the kids. Like, I know when I was like a grade school kid to middle school, I didn't know about anime and stuff like that. But, I mean, I don't have the resources the kids these days do. But, there's a possibility they don't watch much anime except what's, like, presented to them on television. Or if their parents are, like, limiting their access to electronics, which you should to a degree.
Yeah, and that's good because that anime will rot your brain.
You think everything will rot my brain? Everything fun?
No, just the brain rotting stuff.
Which is everything fun.
Sure.
Listen to Bronny being anti-fun again.
Oh, she's
Yep,
showing
that's
her
what I do.
belly again. She's showing her belly again.
Bigorna wants to know if you put condiments on pizza.
That could have gone differently. On pizza? Like, what do you mean? Like, besides what's already on the topping? Because, sure.
Like ketchup.
No, Bronny, not ketchup.
Put the ketchup on
if
pizza, Heather.
if it's like a buffalo chicken pizza and I don't think they have enough buffalo sauce, I'll put more buffalo sauce. But like that pizza I had with Bronny, they actually put enough buffalo sauce that time, so I didn't need to add more. But sometimes I'll put like red peppers on it, or like I'll dip it in ranch, like the crust, or maybe in just pieces of the pizza if I feel like it, or in the buttery garlic sauce. You can get it some places. I'll dip it in that.
Well, there you go. What you thinking about, Heather?
My tummy kind of hurts, and I'm wondering why, but I'm like, you ate a greasy pastrami sandwich today and a coffee from McDonald's. Like, coffee doesn't usually settle with me anyway, which is one of the other reasons I don't usually drink it. I mean, it usually makes me go to the bathroom, but that didn't. No, wait, I went to the bathroom today. But yeah, so my tummy is a little unsettled, but I ate a greasy pastrami, well, not too greasy, but a pastrami sandwich and chips today, and I had a coffee that normally, like, disrupts my system, and I haven't had any vegetables as far as I remember. I had an apple this morning, but that was about the only healthy thing I ate. Oh, I had a parfait. I got it at McDonald's, but you know how healthy that can get. I mean, it had strawberries and blueberries in it, but you know, they're like the ones that are covered in syrupy kind, and I had yogurt.
Man, that's a lot, babe. That's a lot of stuff that's not good for you.
Yeah, but I don't think I have anything that can help even it out, so you know, we're just dealing with this now.
Anchovies. We need anchovies on the pizza, Heather.
On your half of the pizza, you can have anchovies, honey. I don't want seafood on my pizza. Okay? Is that so much to ask?
Yes, that's a lot.
I do so much, Bronny. I don't ask for much in return. I don't think I ask for much.
Look at this fluffy kitty. Look at this belly. Look at that. Look at that.
She's doing me now, like, to my bottom cheek.
I'll give you switches. I'll give you switches. Cause you like them. Cause I love you.
Heather, stop being rude with your cat.
You're just jealous because you will never know this kind of love.
Sure.
Scratch the chin. Scratch your chin. Cause that's what you like.
Shiniok wants to know, what's the most pushing it food you've successfully made out of desperation?
Oh, hold on. Let me think about it. Cause I think I've done a few things. I've done, like when I like never put mashed potatoes into my burritos, but I did that when I started living here because I was just like, I don't know what else to put in these burritos, and so I called them anything burritos, where I'd literally take just leftover shit I had and just threw it in there. There'd be beans and rice and cheese and sour cream, typical fare, but then I'd throw like mashed potatoes in there, a strip of bacon in there, whatever I had. And recently I invented my Veggie Rice. I did that because all I had to eat was rice and canned vegetables. So I made white rice, and then I would throw canned vegetables in there and maybe put some salt and pepper, and I made vegetable rice. And let's see, there's other stuff. You know what's a food that I didn't realize till recently is a food that's kind of just made of stuff that if you don't have anything are potato tacos. Because half the time when I'm running out of, like for a while when I was running low on money and didn't know what to make for dinner, I'd be like, oh, I still have potatoes and I have the potatoes and I have tortillas, I can make potato tacos. That's stuff that's cheap and I have a lot of it most of the time. I think I actually have some tortillas and potatoes, so I could potentially make some if I wanted some soon.
Nagorno likes corn flour and mayonnaise, and
That's
that
disgusting.
Sound good to me.
I have hot dogs. Well, I'm not hungry right now. Why am I talking about food? My tummy hurts too much. I don't want food. Like, I could be a little bit hungry, but I don't want a lot of food. I want a little bit. Just a little bit.
Yeah, I think we need to cut back on the grease and fast food with you, Heather. I think that might be part of the reason why you get stomach aches all the time.
I forgot about yesterday. I did have fast food. I don't normally have fast food. I mean, I don't usually spend
I don't know,
money.
but you get more stomach aches than anybody else I've ever known. And I'd really like to find the reason for it.
I just have a delicate system, and I bet everyone else gets stomach pains all the time. They just don't say anything.
Yeah, that's usually from something they're eating too.
I'm sure, like, it's like I just didn't have I had an unbalanced meal. It's today. Like, I didn't fit vegetables anywhere in there, and I had too much sugar. That's all there is.
Mm-hmm.
You just have to have a balance of stuff. Like, the way I would normally eat with, like, a yogurt and berries in the morning, and maybe an orange for a snack, and then for lunch have my chicken salad. And then for dinner, I don't know, I fucking make it up as I go, but that usual kind of thing, it's usually very good for me. But the only thing that might screw me up is dinner, because I'll make like a huge burrito.
Sure.
You cut out, honey. What was it?
That sounds good to me.
What'd you say, honey? You cut out.
Shady Oak says you should join his anime group. They do a workout before they watch every Sunday.
I don't know. I kind of like keeping Sunday like a self-care Sunday kind of thing. I like to wake up late, lay around and do nothing. Because I work out during the week almost every day. I work out 4 times a week. Monday through Thursday.
Well, Heather, if you want to change things up a little bit, on Saturday mornings now, I do a workout with my Patreon group. That might be something to consider.
Maybe. But Saturday is already my chore day.
Yeah. It's up to you. The invitation is open.
That's nice.
It's a relatively easy workout. It's about what you might expect out of your Jillian Michaels DVD. Maybe a little less so even.
Well, that's good. Thank you.
Yep. Megan McGonigal says, I tried putting my thick shoulder-length hair up into several styles into the short wig, and it all felt uncomfortable except the low bun.
Yeah,
that's prominent from under the wig.
Yeah, that's one that I normally do because I have really long hair. So that's where it gets difficult. So sometimes you can just deal with that, do like a lowish bun and like fit it in there and maybe it'll pop out a little bit. If you have a thick enough wig, maybe it won't be noticeable. Another thing you can do is maybe put your hair in some braids. They don't have to be French braids or anything, but like I'll normally do my hair like Swedish braids, like part your hair in the middle and braid it down here. It doesn't have to be perfect because no one's going to see it. And maybe get those braids and pull them up like this. And if your hair is short enough, I guess, you could start pinning them. And that might be a bit flatter and more comfortable. I've been meaning to try that myself to see if it'd be something, but that's like something I'm working on right now. Maybe it's a good way to do it. Braid your hair, pin it up, put on the cap or whatever, put on the wig and see how it comes out. You can be my guinea pig and try that.
You should all just shave your head like I do.
Sure, honey. That's what it is.
Yep.
We'll start wearing bandanas too instead of wig caps.
Look at your little teeth. Look at me again so I can see those little vampire teeth. Let me see the little vampire teeth.
She has little fangs.
So Shady Oak, the reason why you haven't gotten the notifications for that is because it's typically reserved to some of the higher tier patrons that I have. My $25 and up tier is who I give the lessons to. Let's see. Bucket5 says, you should see this exercise DVD that I have called Walking Away the Pounds.
That's interesting.
I'm curious. I'm curious because I don't think that would work.
Yeah, maybe it's just actually, I can't imagine what it would be like. So maybe Google it. My workout DVD, I do it Like, because the way I work out, like I told you, it's Monday through Thursday, 4 days out of the week, and I'll do it Jillian Michaels. She's a famous fitness whatever, because she was on The Biggest Loser or some crap, celebrity fitness person. But she has DVDs, and you know, they're usually like high energy, high cardio. So, and like I consider anything that makes me build up a sweat a good exercise. If you're sweating, you exercise. Good job. I used to do like my first one was something like the reason I got into her was because my sister had her DVD. What was it called? 30-day abs or something like that. I don't know. I didn't get abs in 30 days, but then again, I don't do the dieting part. But because it's always like, oh, you'll totally do this, but you also got to starve yourself and shit. And it's like, okay. So I did that, and I would do it like a few times a week. And I feel like the reason I would exercise mostly is because people, like, I was rare in my family of athletic builds. I had the heavier build, so I always got like shit for it. So I started working out, and I would do that, and it was all right. I didn't like it, but whatever. And like, of course, I got bored of it. I mean, I didn't enjoy it to begin with, so I got bored because I went through all the things. But then I moved on to a kickboxing workout, which is a bit more interesting. You know, punching and kicking, so you feel like you're also learning something practical along with doing a workout. And now I'm currently doing her cardio DVD. I'll say this: I don't enjoy working out, so I can't say I enjoy the DVDs, but I think it's effective, and I do like the format she usually does her workouts, so I know what to expect each time. Because she'll do something like, she'll say, okay, this workout has 3 or 4 circuits. Like, she does 3 circuits. These 3 circuits are composed of, like, 4 different workouts. And it's going to be this many seconds for each workout. And so and then after we go through all of them once, we're going to do all of them again, and then we'll move on to the next circuit. So that way I kind of know when I'm halfway through the workout or where I'm at and what I have to prepare for next. That's what I guess I can say I like about it. I know what to expect. It's something I'm accustomed to. So that's why I stick to her, because I like that system.
Yeah.
And outside of her workout, I do other things. Like, outside of her workout, I do other things. Because Bronny's a fitness trainer, I've asked him, like, am I doing enough? Or, I don't remember what I asked, but, like, then you gave me, like, a whole Skype message filled with workouts, and I kind of was like, that's not what I asked for, but cool. But, like, yeah, you gave me that, and I would do that on top of that, so it would be something even more. And I would do my hula hoop. That's actually an exercise I kind of enjoy, is hula hooping. Gives me my curves. So I used to do like 30 minutes, like a 30-minute hula hoop workout, because I can hula hoop, like, I don't have to stop. Like, I can keep it up there for like an hour if I had to. But I was like, okay, I think I'll do it for 30 minutes. So I did 15 minutes one side, 15 minutes the other direction. But now I do it 10 minutes because, like, there's not enough time in the day. I'd rather get through it in 20 minutes. So that's my workout routine.
I watched a very interesting video today talking about how exercise doesn't go into weight loss as much as we tend to think it does. The guy said, and I don't necessarily agree with this, the guy said exercise was only 15 to 20% of, you know, how much weight loss you're going to see. And the rest of it is diet. And I don't think that's accurate. I think the actual number is more like 40% exercise and the rest being diet.
I think that might be true for some people. Depends on your metabolism. I think he's being
It depends on a lot of things, but yeah, you definitely like need to. If you cut out greasy food, if you cut out greasy food and you cut out carbs and you cut out sugar as much as possible, and you're not in shape to begin with, then yeah, you'll definitely see an improvement in your weight. And he highly recommended the keto diet, there are parts of the keto diet that I disagree with.
The keto always seemed kind of stupid. I mean, maybe it's because my sister was doing it. Like, she shows up in this chat sometimes, so I don't want to shit talk her too much. But like, my sister, older sister, has a tendency to go on fad diets. Like and that was my mom and my sister for the longest time, because they were the other heavier ones in the family, but still somehow they were able to give me shit about being heavy. But they were always on diets and I think that's what made me hate it more, is they were always on and off diets and they never commit to it. And I'm like, and that's why my mentality now these days is dieting sucks. I don't want to cut anything out because I like the food I eat, and why deprive myself of joy? And also, it's a lot of the time people who say they're on diets are full of shit. They're not committed to it. Some people I could probably respect for it, like people who are committed to being vegetarians and don't cheat it by eating fish, but they do like find other ways to incorporate like protein into their diet. I don't respect vegans as much. I mean some.
Well, veganism is stupid. It really is.
I don't like people who are high and mighty about their diets. Like they're like, I don't like. Oh, well, you know who did this to me? Cloud Cuckoo Country. Me and Louie would talk to him a few times on and off. It was fine, but like the first time I started talking to him, I was like working out. And like, I don't know, I was talking to Louie about something about working out. I was like, you know what? I'm gonna get abs so hot I could grill bacon on them. And I think Cloud Cuckoo Country said something, and he's like, I got abs. And I'm like, oh yeah, are they so hot you could grill bacon off of them? And he's like, sure, but I wouldn't because I'm a vegetarian. And I'm like, and I try to be cool about it. I'd be like, oh cool, is it dietary or moral? He's like, oh, I don't like killing defenseless animals. And I'm like, okay, bitch. I'm sure he was joking or trying to be like a facetious jerk, but I'm just like, because some people are like legitimate when they do that.
No, that's a lot of what veganism is, and veganism is very destructive to all but a few select people who just happen to genetically be able to handle that.
Yeah, because we're omnivorous. Human beings are omnivorous things. We need meat. I mean, I get it if you have moral qualms about it. Sure, go vegetarian, but like, vegans are taking even more stuff out of that. Like, they're taking away like things that are animal based, like milk and stuff like that. That's like just depriving them of nutrients even more. And to compensate for that, they have to take like nutrient pills, which is just animal compressed bullshit that they have to put in themselves. So they're not even vegans.
Yeah, it's a real problem.
Yeah, and then they'll try to make their dog vegan, and it's just like, are you fucking serious? A dog isn't even something like a human. Maybe you could argue it's like, oh, we don't have a lot of canine teeth, so we really don't need meat that much, and blah, 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 blah. A dog, it's named after the dog. All they have is canine teeth. They need meat.
Mm-hmm. So with diets, most of the fad diets don't work.
Yeah, I kind of derailed there, but like
that doesn't mean you can't not pay attention to what you're eating.
Of course. Like, I'm saying, like, I hated my sister doing it because it was always one thing after another. Like, her Instagram handle is stupid because I know she's not committed to it, but she called herself, I think she had two. She was either Run Love or Keto Person. And I'm just like, are you serious? This is a fad. You're not going to commit to it. Because she was all like, oh, I'm so keto, and would have my mom make her stuff and stuff. But when it came down to her having to do things for herself, she wouldn't do it. She wouldn't make her own food. She tried to get her kids to eat healthy. She didn't commit to it. I mean, if it's someone else doing it for her,
let's not use your family as an example for everything. I'm going to talk very frankly here, Heather. Your family are not smart people. And they don't do anything right.
I mean, I can't deny
So, yeah, like, I've met them, I've heard you talk about them. Don't use them as an example for anything.
Obviously not, but I gotta say, it's a part of, like, of how I'm introduced to things, so it could help you understand why I think certain things, I have certain opinions about things, and why I have certain perceptions on things. And yeah, like, it's unfortunate, and it probably gives me a bad intro to something that could be good for me, like a healthy diet. I don't indulge in the healthiest of foods, and maybe that's because that's one of the few things that made me happy, because everyone's repressing and making Heather feel bad about everything. And I don't like. Also, I'm a very lazy person, and very impulsive and very, that kind of thing. If I can get a hot burger faster than I can make myself something gourmet and healthy, I probably will do that if I could.
Well, the laziness you can do something about, and it would benefit you a lot to acquire a taste for healthier foods, but
it's not an easy road.
It's not, but I don't know. If I was able to do it, the way I look at things, Heather, is if I was able to do it, I don't understand why other people can't, because I don't see myself as like on a good day I'm average, right? You know what I mean?
I think I know what you mean. It's the same thing where it boggles my mind when people act a certain way. They're unsympathetic and don't care about how their actions affect others. Like, people who throw fits at fast food places because they don't see the person that's behind that register as a real person. You're like, how do you behave that way? But I'm like, oh, I have the experience that I do. It's not an excuse. There's still fucking assholes, but not everyone's like me and will be understanding to people.
Right. So that's why I used to be so confrontational, and I still am to a certain degree, but certainly not as much as I used to be. I think Brandon just joined us.
Brandon. On a good day, you're average?
Yes, on a good day, I am average at just about everything I do. In fact, in most things I do, I'm pretty bad at, actually, in the grand scheme of things. But that's not the point here. The point here is that when I see people being hypocrites, and I see people taking advantage of other people, I turn it into a fight. Because that's going to what that does is that prevents them from doing that again in the future. Because at a certain point, they're going to take so much nonsense that they're going to have to think to themselves, okay, why does this happen?
It turns to a fight, legality notwithstanding.
No, legality, I mean, when I was younger, I fought all the time. For that very reason, and nothing ever happened to me, You just gotta do it the right way.
Because if you fight in school, it doesn't matter who hits back first, you're both getting suspended. More than likely.
Well, I find it's a situational thing, and at least in school districts I've been to, or at least most cases, yeah.
The school district I went to was supposedly zero tolerance, but here's what happened. I was getting bullied a lot in middle school, and the last year in middle school, my entire family, aside from my mother, gave me permission to check someone if they started bullying me. So the next time someone started picking on me for my weight, I slammed his head into a locker. So here I am in the principal's office, and they're making a big deal out of it. And the principal calls up my father and says, we're gonna suspend your kid. And he goes, did my kid defend himself? And he's like, well, yeah, but it doesn't matter. He goes, no, it does matter. Because, we've tried to get you guys to do something about it, about everybody picking on him, and you did nothing. And, so I gave him permission to defend himself. So he goes, we're gonna suspend your kid. And he goes, if you suspend my kid for defending himself, I'm going to have your job. And after that, I pretty much had a free pass to do whatever the heck I wanted over at that school.
I never really got, and by never really, I mean I never got into legit fights. But when I was all the way from 7th grade to the end at the 9th grade, beginning of 10th grade, I was practically tormented for being Jewish. For 3 straight years, every day at lunch, I had pennies thrown at me.
Aww. That's racist.
In retrospect, I should have kept those pennies because I'd probably be rich. So I kind of regret that. But I don't know. Maybe it's because in reality I'm not actually a violent person. I don't really have a violent bone in my body. I never really even if I was pissed off at them, I never really had the desire to check them into a locker.
Yeah. Well, so ultimately, Heather, this is what's up. If somebody is being a hypocrite, don't listen to them. It doesn't matter if their message is good. If they're a hypocrite, their words don't mean anything.
Absolutely. And I want to diverge from this a little bit. Two things. Bucket, I see your comment, Bronny, you're going to need to like Heather's family in the event you marry her someday. I'm going to say right now, he does not have to like them. I know what my family is like. I don't like half of them. He doesn't have to like them.
I don't like your
Like, I want him to like my nephews because my nephews are just kids. You don't know what kind of people they're going to grow up to be. And from what I can see, most of them, Tammy's kids are on a pretty good track. They're good kids. Tasha's, they're still just little kids, but they're not in the best environment. And, I'm just gonna have to see how they turn out. I want him to give my nephews and all of them a chance at least. I just need him to get along with them. I just need him to just tolerate their presence. That's all he has to do.
And I'm going to treat your family like my family. You know, so but I expect there to be conflict.
Of course.
So,
and it's,
so anyway,
I think most of them, like, you might be annoyed by. Most of them might give you a little bit of a hard time, and that's fine. And, there's just only one person I'm worried about, and that's it.
Yeah, so, you don't need to listen to people who are hypocrites. But make sure you can identify when they have a good message, when they have something to say that's good. Because otherwise, you're going to cheat yourself out of a lot of stuff, which is really already happened.
And these days I try to keep an open mind because I feel like in my high school days, everything that my family pushed onto me, I utterly rejected because at that point, I was going through my phase. I was sick of it. I was done trying to be quiet most of the time. I was still the good kid, so there's not very high standard. The bar was not set very high. But dieting, I rejected. I only took part in one sports activity in school because that was something my mom was pushing and I wanted her to shut up. I was very... I'm still very much agnostic, but I'm trying to approach religion with an open mind these days. In high school, I wasn't that. I thought religion was too constrictive, and I thought that most people who partook of it were very hard to get along with, and I didn't like them. I didn't like religion in the least bit. I was very much against it. But these days I try to be more open about it. I definitely, I think it often enough, I'm glad that you and me didn't meet very much earlier on in life because we wouldn't have meshed together very well.
Yeah, you might be right. Let's see here. Megan McGonigal says, I hate my younger sister who's 10 years younger than me, still harass me with my weight and disability. Sometimes she hit me and kick me. Okay, Megan, when that happens, baseball bat. You have my permission. Murdoch says, dang it, I'm late again. Murdoch, you know what time these streams happen.
I want to go back to Megan McGonigal's because she says at the end, and when I tell someone, they tell me to grow up. That's just a plain abusive relationship. And no, Bronny gives you permission to be violent. I understand that might not be the approach to go with that you would want to implicate. I want to say here very clear, none of us are certified experts who should be giving you official advice. Bronny, let me finish. We definitely have life experience that is applicable to what you may be going through. And by all means, violence is the answer if you were defending yourself. But if that's not the route you want to go through, you can go out and find professional help. Or it seems like you, maybe you're not living with her anymore. So I'd be like, you know what, cut that shit off. You don't have to talk to her. You don't have to deal with her. She is not your problem. Sure, I bet your family's going to be like, talk to your sister. But you know what? The more they bother you about that, the more you can be like, hey, how I cut her off, I can cut you off too. I don't need you. But again,
so,
I don't know your situation.
Yeah, so listen, Megan, there's a few different, it's a 2 or 3 pronged thing here. The first rule of self-defense is that when somebody attacks you physically, their life is forfeit. So That's just how the world works. If you have to defend yourself, I encourage it. Your confidence will grow. When I went through the same thing, because I was handicapped and I was obese and I had all these problems and I had a weight, while I was defending myself, I was also working as hard as I could at bettering myself. So I had a weight problem. I got into fitness and I started learning about nutrition and how to be a healthier person, things like that. I don't know what your disability is. I was diagnosed with autism. There's probably nobody who's talked to me in the last 15 years would have ever guessed that I had autism. So there's certain disabilities that you can actually work your way out of. And sometimes people will respect that, and the external problem will go away, but much more importantly is you'll gain a much higher level of confidence and respect in yourself, in which then whatever they do to you will simply glance off and you won't feel it, you won't notice it. And that's not going to do much to change the situation itself, but it will make it 10 times easier to live through until you can get yourself away from it.
And you know what? The most important thing is to find a reason to do this for you, not because for the longest time, and it still kind of is, well, not anymore, but exercising was to be done to get people around me to leave me alone about my weight. That's what it was for. It was to get my mom to shut up. It was to get people to stop making fun of me. And that's not the reason you should do those things. You gotta find a positive reason to encourage yourself. I mean, by all means, it's also a way to vent your anger, like to get all that aggressive energy out. I know sometimes when I was angry and after I worked out, I felt like I had cooled down a few decibels, and that was also good. But these days, I think I work out and do these sorts of things because I want to live a healthy life, and I want to do these things for Bronny too. So also find positive reasons to do the things you need to do to better yourself.
Right, and then Megan McGonigal says, I live with my mother, I'm jobless, I don't know how to drive, I have autism, maldepression, anxiety, ADD, and I don't know how to duck and drive. Okay, you can fix all of that.
I didn't know how to drive until I think it was literally last week. Because, and I don't know, I think I may be on the spectrum. But my mom, I don't know if a teacher ever talked to her, but I was never brought to a doctor to be diagnosed. But I've always been different. So I'm sorry I can't say I officially have anything, but when I talk about the way I think and the way I act, people who are diagnosed with anxiety or diagnosed with a certain autism or something like that usually tell me, those are symptoms I have, you might have that. And I'm like, well, I don't know, because doctors never told me, and I've never had a reason to go ask them, because I've made it so those aren't an aspect of my life that need addressing. I've learned to live and function with it. But like I said, I didn't have a license until last week. I didn't have a car until last week, and I'm 24, and I'm going to be 25 in July. And I didn't learn how to drive because I didn't have good people to teach me. I hated the DMV. I didn't understand driving, and driving is very hard on your anxiety. It is very hard on your anxiety. But it can be done. I'm driving myself to work. I'm driving myself to the store. I no longer have to lean on Sweetie for something like that. I'm finally a fully independent adult, and I can contribute more to this, to what me and Sweetie have here now more than ever. And that's something. Exactly. That's something to accomplish. I think you probably are capable of more than you realize, because those things, I think you can get people to support you who also go through these things and ask them how they've done that stuff. As for the jobless thing, I would be curious as to what education you have, what experience you have, because there's always a ways to work with it. Because I think Jasper Pye is in the boat of he didn't get a high school diploma until a while after he should have, and he never had a job before it. He's in his late 20s, isn't he?
Who are we talking about again?
Jasper Pye, you've talked to him.
He's working on getting a job. I don't know if he's been successful yet.
But he's out there.
But yeah,
he's trying.
he's another guy that got screwed over by the system as well, because his parents put him into special education, which does absolutely no good for anybody. So, um, that's a completely different story. But Megan, all the stuff you've listed on, I went through the exact same thing. You can work your way out of it. It's not nearly as hard as you think, but you have to try. You have to do something. The worst thing you can do is let your anxiety get the better of you. Don't just choose, and it is a matter of choice. You got to choose not to let that anxiety be a part of you when it comes to doing what you need to do to get better. Because that's all that's going to do is hold you back, and then nothing's ever going to change. You have the ability to change any aspect of your life that you want to change. It's going to take work, but if you let yourself be an anxious mess, then nothing's ever going to change.
And let it be known, you're not alone in doing this. Like we said, Jasper Pie is like in the same boat as you, and he's a person that's well liked. He's someone in our community. There's people that you probably know of who have had the same problems that you do, so it is something feasible. So many people in our community who are like upstanding members that we all look up to or enjoy their content. They have had struggles. We go through things all the time. Bronny is someone you respect, isn't he? You enjoy his content. Bronny has gone through so many jobless spells, has been through so many obstacles and difficulties and all this stuff that I'm sure he could go on and on about, but he's still here and able to accomplish as much as he has. There's so many of us who have gone through so much. And we're all here to give you advice and talk to you. If you want to talk to like people who are part of support groups and stuff like that, the internet's here and you have access to all of it. I'm sure you can find whatever you need.
Yep. We are in the last 10 minutes. We're actually in the last 8 minutes of the stream.
I feel like we made good progress. And you know what's funny, Brandon? The reason we're even, like, the subject that got us onto this subject was because I was talking about why I hated diets so much, and it went back to my family. But this conversation started about dieting and exercises. So, Brandon, why don't you tell us about what you think about dieting and exercise?
Well, I mean, I wasn't here for, like, the other part of the conversation, so I don't know what's been said.
Just tell us your thoughts on diet and exercise.
God dang it, Bronny, shit. But I think I just want to ask what you personally do. Like, what's your exercise regime, and how do you feel about dieting, and what are some practices you do? Besides avocados, damn it.
Besides what?
Besides avocados.
You caught me. I was literally going to bring up avocado somewhere in this.
Avocado.
That was cool. Well, I think, and I'm not an expert on any of this. Bronny's, again, I more than likely I would defer to Bronny on a good chunk of these things. As just a general statement, I think the easiest way to be healthy is to weave it naturally into your lifestyle.
Yeah.
You know what I mean?
I can see what you mean by that. Like, make it habitual.
Don't have it be something, just completely unnatural. Just have it kind of flow there. Have it kind of flow.
Can you give an example?
An example. I don't know. It's really hard for me to think of an example because part of it is also a very personal thing, and when
I think
it's all highly dependent on one person's lifestyle, how they'd like to carry it out.
To a degree, there's you could say there's like 6 different types of people. Right. So what it's going to be is finding which one of those types of people you are, and once you know that, and once you know what your goal is, then you have everything you need to know how to accomplish what you're looking for.
Right.
On the condition that makes any sense. When you're going with oh, by the way, Murdoch says knife.
Knife walked away. She's done with this. She's like, yes, I did my part.
Yep, and Pristine is in the chat and she says, hey there, Heather, coming in the last 5 minutes.
She just wanted to get her weekly dosage.
I came in like, I actually don't remember when I came in. And I was expecting lighter topics, and then this came up.
I know, it's been a pretty heavy stream. I mean, shit.
Yeah, we've had a lot to say. It's been good.
And we have a lot to talk about. But I was really getting into anime and stuff earlier.
Wish I was here for the entire stream. Nope, they wanted me to work.
Yeah, how was work, Brandon?
Work was fine. It wasn't Boomer Central like it usually is over there. I don't know. It was fun.
Yeah, I had to work today too. I had something to say, but I'm losing my mind. Oh, Brandon, we were talking a little bit about music earlier, like mostly just what I listened to in the car. We were talking about gorillas, and nonstop Bronny was trying to make gorillas puns, and I just completely ignored him, and I think he got sad. You should have been there for that part.
Well, now he's gonna try to make them to me again.
No, just ignore them. Ignore them and make him feel bad about it. Ignore him. Act like it's not happening.
I will take this opportunity to give some gorillas opinions. Plastic Beach is probably the best work, and Humans is also great, but it lacks the same mystery that the other releases had, and it relies way too much on features. Humans is great. It's no Plastic Beach, that's for sure.
Oh man, Brandon, you should advertise how you're gonna have a video soon.
Oh yeah, no, that's a thing that's happening too, but.
Yeah, is it gonna be on the? Did you decide is it gonna be on the channel you used to moderate here, or is it gonna be on a different one?
Sorry, what can you repeat that?
Where are you gonna upload that video? Is it gonna be on the channel you currently use to moderate my chats with, or is it gonna be on a different one? Because if you want, link that in the chat so everyone can see it.
Oh, I feel like it's gonna be a different one, but I haven't actually made it yet because I'm still working on a name. It's probably gonna be like something like adaptive music, and the reason I say that is because while the focus is primarily gonna be on music, well, it's also other things. But then again, it doesn't make sense either because I don't know.
Just whatever you do when you release a video or whenever, we'll share it and stuff like that so everyone can see it. You're gonna have a whole bunch of Brony fans.
I will say I have my first topic already, so I just gotta set that up.
Oh yeah. So yeah, Brandon's getting into the video making biz.
I can't wait.
He's gonna have a Patreon, guys.
Oh, but Gorna also just made a pun.
I already made that one though, so it doesn't count.
Yeah, you know what? Let's make a pun jar instead.
I don't have enough money for the pun jar.
Well, then you don't get to make any puns.
The swear jar is still gonna work because Braun is gonna make me angry enough to curse, and well, you're gonna be rich overnight.
Oh my god, I wish. If you guys would actually like put in $1 or like even 50 cents every time we cursed or told a pun, I would have so much money.
Bogorn says, my favorite Gorillaz album is still the debut album. Hey, I like their debut album too. I mean, and it's weird considering that debut albums are usually pretty rocky. I'm trying to think of some examples that aren't rocky. Weezer's Blue album, or their first one, that was their debut album, and that wasn't rocky at all.
How do you feel about Red Hot Chili Peppers?
They're like the Nickelback of funk metal. It's the frat college pro stuff that I hate.
My brother had a CD of it, and I downloaded it on my iPod, and like, You know what I like it as? Like white sound music. Like it's music I don't feel like paying attention to, but it's pleasant enough in the background because I'll listen to it during work. Because like music that's too good, where I want to really listen to it to every lyric and envision something, that's not good for me to work to or drive to because then I'm gonna like not focus on what I'm doing. But it's great as white noise, like background music.
Depending on the tone you want to set.
That's what I play orchestral for.
Yeah, well, the orchestral, I don't know, sometimes orchestral music, like, I feel like this music is still telling a story that I envision stuff to. So, like, I can't have some music that's too good. I mean, I don't know, I'll listen to Gorillaz in the car and stuff, and it doesn't affect my driving. That's mostly because, well, Gorillaz is still good, but, like, I can zone in and out and still have a good time. I think it's more like Caleb Hyles' music is, like, I like, really just indulging in Caleb Hyles' music.
You know what instrumental band, provided that you like instrumental music, that you would really like?
What?
They're a post-rock band from Texas, and they're called Explosions in the Sky.
Oh.
It's mostly instrumental. It does have its movements, quote unquote, its highs and lows and everything, points where the music picks up, and then when it just kind of settles down. Kind of like a much more subdued version of Soft Loud. I'll send you one of my favorite songs.
That's good. But guys, we're at the end of the stream.
Yeah, that's what I was about to say.
Any last minute questions or things we should address before we go, Bronny? Because we've kind of been neglecting them as we've gotten off into conversations too often.
No, we haven't missed all that much aside from Pristine saying that we need a pun jar for Josh and Eliora and their hatred of puns.
You know what? Let's put them on the stream, and like every time they get to the point of cursing, I'll make so much money. Make me rich.
Yes, you guys, you gotta make her rich. I need that. I need a sugar mama. Because I don't want to work.
Give me money so my cat can have a better life. Look at that face. Look at that precious face. Oh, they can't see your eyes, baby. Open up your eyes. Yeah.
All right. Are we gonna wrap it up?
Yeah, we're gonna wrap it up. Okay, guys. It's been we've had a very deep stream and had a lot of interesting topics, so I've really enjoyed this. I was getting a little tired in the middle. It rejuvenated me. Brandon, Bronny, say goodbye.
Have a good night, everyone. Thank you for coming out.
Good night.
All right, I'm Heather Blossom, and I'll see everybody in the next one. Bye.
Bye.